And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here with
Tank.
And we're here on the front lines in the battle against the cabal, the deep state, the Lumadonkeys, and all those that wish to cause us harm for their own selfish reasons. And what's going on, Tank?
Well, I'm just working through all the amazing, incredible things going on out there in the world, and preparing myself for what's about to go down. So, I was actually getting some very disturbing information today. Got this audio clip of some people who think they're important somewhere in the scope of humanity. I guess they're in Illinois, in the DCFS, and also in the hospitals, and they were actually plotting how they were going to take protective custody of children as soon as they're born to basically to vaccinate them right away. And they basically said outright, like, does anybody really care what happens to them after that? And,
oh, wow.
Apparently they did not. They did not care. So that was disturbing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And but you know what? What's so fascinating is what I do appreciate about that particular piece of information is that it opens the door for a lot of other things. And we are going to be able to go in and use that information against them as we are beginning the process to file indictments against the appropriate people. And we're going to get all that information in front of a very robust, court to actually bring charges. And if the representatives there and the various Congress people and all the other police officers and different group doesn't do anything, I'll bring charges against them as well, and we'll just keep on coming until everybody does it. Again, I started to put things in place today to do exactly what you said, and actually, I started reaching out to different representatives in different counties and speak to them about printing up, 10 to 100,000, flyers and going door to door to make people aware of certain things about the vaccines and about child protective services. So what? I think that's the way to do it. Actually, get an army on the ground of people and tell them what they can do to help.
Right. I mean, just the thing that these Operation Veritas type videos where someone is caught expressing as part of a hospital that they're just gonna take the babies and vaccinate them, right? For what reason, right? With and they don't care what happens after that. That kind of raw information is enough to wake up people, right? So they know that there's something wrong. What is their hurry? Why is it? What is this epidemic out there that everyone has to do it right now? Everyone has to be vaccinated. Everyone has to have these immunization shots. What is the reason for it? It's not.
We have to stop the measles, Dan. Dan, you know what happens when people get the measles?
They get it.
Almost nothing. But still, they don't look nice and they're a little bit uncomfortable for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, and your immune system gets supercharged from it.
Right. Yeah, and then they can fight cancer, which could potentially crash the entire medical economy if everyone got measles as a standard practice, right? So,
which was the standard practice. Mumps and measles, those were both standard practices. If your child had mumps or measles, you called all their friends over so that they could also get sick, get contagious. I do remember a South Park episode where the kids figured out what they were doing. Okay, and they said they took retaliation against their parents. They're trying to make us sick.
Yeah.
But there was a good reason behind it, right? Because it prevented them from getting those diseases later in life, where you could be sterilized. Interesting enough.
Yeah. I think that's all on the table.
Yeah. It's an interesting little twist to it, because that's one of the reasons if you got measles later in life as an adult, it could end up sterilizing you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
That's one of the reasons why, for the propagation of the species, you needed to go ahead and do that for your children so that they would have children.
Wow. I mean, so the exact opposite is true, right? They're trying to this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I know. It's a real head scratcher.
It just gets to the point where it's like, are you guys serious? You realize you're part of this, right? You're also human, but you think that your retarded gene line should be perpetuated.
Robert Allen remembers that. I got confirmation from Robert Allen. Yeah.
Robert Allen, man, good source.
Yeah, because after all, I was a very precocious little kid there, and I was always trying to figure out why they did things. So that's why I kind of remembered those. That was
You were quite the precocious little kid there. Actually, yeah. You were involved in everything. What is money? I can't even remember having any intelligent thoughts when I was a kid like that.
I remember my conversations were, because I would say my grandfather's, I called Pap. It was actually my grandmother's brother. And I thought it was my grandfather. I didn't understand that it was her brother. Because I was young, right? But they lived together. Because her husband died when my mother was 4, so my grandfather I never knew, so he had this coin collection, and that's where I learned that was real money. Right? So because this is made of silver, right? This is made of gold, and this is worth this, and the paper money is just paper. So I got it from that angle very young.
That's cool stuff, man. I mean, that's really cool stuff. I do remember not collecting stamps, but looking at stamps and asking those questions and seeing the difference between an actual silver quarter versus what's created now. But
one of the other interesting things is like you could mint a piece of gold, right? And let's say it happened to be a coin that was this size, huge, right? Maybe
right.
worth in gold $1 million.
Right.
But you stamped on it $20. What is the value of that coin?
$20.
$20.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
But officially, it would be worth, if it was an ounce, it would be worth $32.
So,
is
this real?
What?
Have you ever seen this? There's like this thing. I just don't know if it's real. I'm gonna send it to you, man. It looks like this guy. It has to be like fabricated, but like you see the guy's eyes change, and it's like really up close, right? Of like this guy on Twitter, and he's like reptilian, right? And
I've seen many of those videos. Yeah.
Are they real? Yeah, I've never seen them. I guess I've seen them before, but never one this close.
Oh, you know what? I've said that I've known what I used to call a Nephilim. Someone in my past that I knew, I referred to him as Nephilim because literally he was like 7 foot tall, maybe 6'10". He was a huge guy. His hands were twice the size of my hands. When I put my hand up, his hand would be up like this, right? And so
that's crazy.
And he popped up on Telegram. He was in my contact list, right? So I guess he was. I didn't say anything to him, but I just noticed that. That's like interesting.
So crazy. Here, I'm going to show it to you right now.
Go ahead.
So
I never checked out his eyes though to see if they were reptilian. That's what kind of reminded me though. It's like, are the Anunnaki? Are they the Nephilim, or their children, right? Are the Nephilim, and does that mean they're more reptilian?
Let's see what happens.
Huh? Yeah, that's looking reptilian already. Yeah.
I mean, but actually, like at first when I looked at it, it's like usually when you look at things closer, they look more fake. Like I saw this like just from the outside, I was like, that looks fake. But then when I blew it up, I'm like, actually it looks more real than I thought.
Can you play the video?
I'm trying to play it. It's
I forgot. I gotta go back to this. I think otherwise when we I got when you go to share screen, it fills my screen, but the audience in YouTube, after it goes through, they're only seeing a segment of the window. So I gotta.
I'm gonna fix it.
No, don't worry. No, don't worry. You don't need to do anything. I need to do it.
I got you. Okay.
I sometimes forget because it shifts, and then I didn't change it yet.
So I didn't know. Okay.
It's good. We're
good
to
now.
go.
I got to put it over here. Here we go. Now play. Here we go. And Twitter. Okay. There we go.
The best person to replace me.
That's
why I didn't sign.
Oh, there it is. It came up now.
Everybody knows Cindy is the best person to replace me. That's why I didn't resign. Everybody knows Cindy is the best person to replace me. That's why I didn't resign.
Who is that?
Everybody knows Cindy is the best.
I don't know. It says, in God's name I call him for protection and the spirit of the battling. I'll get this out ASAP. Okay. Demons are among us. Just from the Aussie Patriot. I don't know if that's fair to say that's a demon. This is what he says. Cindy is Kane's wife. Oh, really?
Who is it?
John McCain's wife.
That's his wife? It doesn't look like a girl.
No. What he says is Cindy is the best. Everybody knows Cindy is the best person to replace me. That's what the reptilian hearsay. So this comment is that the Cindy he's referring to is John McCain's wife.
Okay. Interesting. So what is he that needs to be replaced?
I'm not sure yet. I'm looking to find out. Yeah.
That's craziness.
Nope, I guess not. Maybe I already passed.
So did you hear this? No, Dave Hodges. He had this, thing about Trump going to the hospital. And he said it was a heart condition. That's what he was saying. Now I don't know if that's true. I know that they put out, the White House put out, the news, and it wasn't anything. He just decided to go because he had a slow day, and he's got to do it. Right, so he's got to get his physical out of the way. So he just decided on. So I've got a window here. Let me go get this out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, come on, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's got the best medical people around him all the time. I mean, I'm sure he's getting all types of. I mean, imagine how well we eat. He's getting the same. He's getting the best, like nonstop, treatment. I'm sure with all types of stuff. Like he's fine.
Yeah, and Mnuchin is his food tester.
Oh man, that would be great. That would comfort me. I feel like Mnuchin himself is poisoned, so I wouldn't want to eat after him. So I don't know. I guess you'd have to do it just right. Mnuchin. The last time I heard Mnuchin speak, all I heard was said, "I have done exactly as you requested, Mr. President." I'm like, that's what I want to hear out of you, Mnuchin. Shut your mouth. Get back to your seat.
I think I heard that same clip. Yeah.
Yeah. But, there's that. So, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting this week, actually. I'm chomping at the bit to, get the week started to see how it goes down, I feel like we're finally at a place where, you got to see something. I mean, everything's kind of coming together. And, I think we should have a poll going to see what the next Kim system is going to be.
Yeah. The key internet monitoring system.
Yeah, the big thing that I just saw, and it's amazing. It's confirmed again right now. Very, very public.
Did you just say confirmed?
Confirmed. It's confirmed. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, I'm going to drop that one. It's confirmed now that 88% of all the kids that go missing in this country are in the custody of DHS or CPS, Department of Human Services, or DCFS, which I'm not sure exactly what that is, and then Child Protective Services, which in fact we all know is should be called CTS or Child Trafficking Services because they have no intention of helping anyone, certainly not kids. I mean, they help themselves, I guess, but fascinating stuff. No discipline, no plan, no strategy. Kamala Harris campaign. Oh, I love this. Here, let's share this too, Dan. This makes me happy. I don't know what it is. I know it shouldn't make me so happy to see somebody else melt down, but gosh, Kamala Harris has just constantly been coming with the same ignorance over and over. And I love it. So, no discipline, no plan, no strategy. Kamala Harris campaign in meltdown. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That is exactly what's going down. Look at that face.
Well, they're dropping like flies. We lost Beto O'Rourke. So what are we left with? Pete?
Wait, Beto O'Rourke isn't running?
No, he left last week.
Yeah. Other significant news: the janitor from my kid's high school is also not running. Equally as important as Beto O'Rourke, by the way, and actually better spoken.
Yeah, he doesn't get up on top of the tables because he'd have to clean it.
Like, we will come and take your guns. That's what we'll do. Like, denied. You're out of the running. You're out of the running. Oh my gosh. This whole movement to try to impose on parents that we don't know what's best for our kids is disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, the teachers are bringing in drag queens to spend the day with the students, and like the chicken head teachers are like, "Oh, this is so cute, it's so fun, right?" But it's not. It's not cute. Yeah. Like, if I find out there's a drug trafficking in my children's school, I will lose my mind. So.
I had a thought. We need to, fund private schools that are run not where they're not. That's not going to happen to the kids, and that they're not going to be vaccinated, and they're not going to be, you know, put through the same things that are happening. So we just need to have our own schools right now because getting through this, but making it legally change, it might take through the courts a long time, years. So
No, no, I can't. I mean, I actually that's why we're going this route. I have mapped this out about how neat the action has to be, because it's so bad. It's really so bad that you have to have people stand up in mass numbers. So we're going to set a tone. I mean, like very quickly too, where we're going to go through this, have a grand jury called, and immediately debunk the whole law, and call out that there's a whole division, and people are sending me amazing information to back this up, but nobody knows what to do with the information, right? It's like you have to have a grand jury called outside of the civil court. There is actual lawful procedures that exist that are above the civil courts. And the more people, if we just like you said, if we go town by town, and we just put it out there, we have one representative in every county, and you start to get people to go in and do the groundwork, I really think you're dead on. That's the way to change it. I think it's the only way to change it. Actually.
Yeah, you do need to move things forward, and the way to do is for people just to walk down the street together. Everyone walk out of your house, go out and see everyone else just come out of their house at the same time, and just start heading towards the city center, city hall. So just go there and say, listen, you got to stop this. You want to hear the evidence is there, so take heed. You got to stop what's going on. Right.
Yeah. This is how I picture it going now. I don't know if you can see this yet.
It took me the third round there to see what was actually going on. The guy's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I know. You get a wheelchair. Oh, I'm such a victim. I'm a victim. Oh, yeah, get out of the way.
FISA brings down the house.
Yeah. Out of it. That guy, he jumped around. Didn't he? It's classic.
I guess. So what are you showing here? It's so choppy, right? So couldn't quite figure it out.
So. Man, I don't got a whole lot today. There is a bunch of things going on that I know about that I can't talk about, but I'm hoping that everything kind of breaks through over the next 2 or 3 days, and we have more to talk about. But I don't got a whole lot today, man.
Well, yeah, I haven't been too caught up. I guess it's the weekend, right? So still the repercussions of the week for this, but with the impeachment going on. I watched Nunes give his opening remarks on the second day. I've watched that twice. It's really worth looking at because really he lays out everything the Democrats are doing in this and how much of a hoax it is. It's not real, and so they're putting everyone through this. And Trump has been saying it's not a legal proceeding. It's not a legal part of the system. It's not an impeachment. And it's not. Nancy Pelosi has said so. It's not an impeachment. It's an impeachment inquiry. Just remove the word impeachment. Just say, it's an inquiry. Why are we saying impeachment? All we need to do is say inquiry, because it's not an impeachment. It has no legal standing. So, and the subpoenas they give out have no. That's why they're going back to the Judiciary Committee, is so that they want to now wrap it up, right, and try and make it pseudo legal at that point.
The whole thing is such a train wreck. By the way, there is no legal standing for taking your kids from your home. There's no legal. There's no lawful precedent to vaccinate. There's no lawful precedence to do any of these things. they call it one thing, and then they just keep repeating the same debauchery, and after a while, we just think that's what it is.
Right. You tell the lie often enough, it becomes the truth to people, right?
Right.
That's what it is.
That whole thing to me is just getting played out and all. It's ridiculous to the point. Like there is, it is so it's disgusting what's happening.
Yes.
And you can see it now. California is like the experimentation zone, right? And New York is like, I guess we're a different kind of experimentation here, but that the legal case from yesterday that I mentioned, and I'm going to make, I'm looking for people in California to stand up and file. By the way, and I have some of my best people in California, right? So if we were to file, just because we are going to file with NLA, and I have someone there who's amazing, who's already beat up the court system there. She's already got vaccines recalled, but in this case, I'm going to be like, wait a minute. She's like, she will not play around. She is going to issue it to every school. She's taken down school boards and put let all of them know that you are in violation of your oath of office. Every single one of you, by being an employee of the government, you are in violation. Therefore, if you violate that by imposing or supporting the issuance of vaccines, or the education by lying to kids about what is acceptable with things like abortion, that you are in violation. Like, she's got this whole system she's like worked out, and she's been successful with it. And I'm like, oh, I never even thought about doing that. That every one of the schools in every community that is imposing vaccines, they're in violation. Actually, they're guilty of treason. It's an act of war. It's biological warfare being used on our children to alter the educational process by lying to them, knowingly or unknowingly, doesn't matter.
Right.
The fact of the matter is like, if you take a government job, you better know the Constitution, because that's about to be brought front and center every day. So, I think we have a pretty good strategy at this point, and I'm gonna have to. It's about to switch a little bit into recruiting mode for a while. But while we're doing that, we're actually filing from other directions. But we got about 100 people right now around the country that are going to start filing with us at the same time, all through grand juries, and all types of grand juries can be called, and all pretty much on the same issue. So you can basically try to throw out one, but you're not going to be able to throw out all of them. Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Just keep going after it. Well, I'm trying to get my daughter also now to take the journey, to some places to find out more about the vaccines there in California, so that she can get educated about it. And there's still it's almost like she doesn't want to be motivated to go and do it, right? And it's like she's trying to like walk the line between, how much poison should I give to the kid, right? Because she doesn't know whether or not it's true, right? And I can see that that's a problem that everyone has, right? Is because can they accept that they're being lied to? That someone's literally trying to sterilize them, everybody. So for people to cross that threshold, from in their normal everyday lives, to think that someone's trying to kill me, or at least kill me from, not just kill me, but stop me from reproducing.
Yeah. Rachel, the friend of yours, she's been working on all these different memes and stuff to put out to try to create awareness. And we're about to have her put something together to basically draw the attention on the vaccines to away from the vaccine word, right, and just onto the reality. Like, if you were to ask people a straight question, and you described it differently, it said there is a psychotic effort taking place right now to disseminate false information to the doctors and the nurses at the hospitals to make them believe that this certain medication does one thing, but in reality, it's a biological weapon that's been corrupted. And they think it's harmless, and what it'll do is it will inject aluminum, it will inject leukemia, it will inject fetal parts, cow hooves. I mean, all types of crazy stuff, right? And you put all these just ingredients on there that are in there. It's like, this is happening. You need to be aware. It's very dangerous, and it's happening everywhere. This is happening in your county right now. Right now, we estimate that virtually 100% of every single person has already been affected by this. And you didn't say it was vaccine. You just said that, and that's true. Imagine what is potentially possible, like your daughter's going through.
Right.
Like look at the vaccines. Well, how much poison do you give them? Wait, how about we just ask a different question? What is possible with our children if we don't give them any poison?
I want to share something with you. So, this is the U.S. Population rate, right? And it's talking about population. But if you look at the bottom graph here, it says yearly population growth rate as a percentage. Look from the 1960s, into 2010, of course 2011. Look at what's happened. See how it's decreasing, how fast it's decreasing. So if you go back from the 60s to the 70s, right, it had a big drop, and then it was flat all the way to the 90s, went up in 2000, and now again it's dropping.
Wow. So I wonder why the increase was in the 90s. Oh, they probably allowed people to increase their reproduction in the 90s because that's when the Clintons were really starting to gear up to harvest as many kids as possible.
Maybe.
That's when they introduced CPS. They started to incentivize people to take break up families.
Yeah, they had to show there's population growth. That's why, so they could come up with all the studies and say, look, it's growing. Whatever they wanted to tweak, right? But wow. I just go by my daughter, literally saying, that she's experiencing that people are having a hard time reproducing, right? Because they're taking all these drugs. She had a hard time conceiving my granddaughter, right? She actually took some particular drug that was not actually meant as a way of increasing your reproductivity. It was a side effect, right? And so she took it, and then she got pregnant. Right?
It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So this is the type of stuff that we're really faced with, though, right? Is this the people don't recognize it, but she's in it, right? Because she's, in with the reproductive system, right? Where we need that she monitors babies with ultrasound, right? So people, she's getting that. So she gets the people that are trying to see if they're pregnant, and she hears all their stories on how hard it was, and so it's there. The evidence is there. I also remember remember they tell us what they're doing to us, right? It's in the story. So I go back to Stargate SG-1. There was,
which I was told is a documentary.
It's a documentary, yeah. It's totally. So one of the parts of the documentary were how this alien race had come to Earth and was helping the governments of the planet. And here's the better food production methods, and in the food, they made it so that the population rate was reduced and sterilized people over time, to where the people that they were co-living side by side with, these aliens, ended up just wiping out the entire human race by having them just depopulate, and they just naturally died off. They also, in this, gave them an extended life, right? So their lifespans were longer, doubled their lifespans, right? But the population rate decreased.
Yeah. Yeah, there's shows like that out right now. They're talking about the regenerative technology, right? Which we all
Sure.
applaud, right? Oh, we need that, right?
Yeah.
And then get into regenerative technology, we're all going to this, but there's no reason to live anymore. You know what I mean? Like people are like committing suicide because like they want to die. They're worn out and their lives like they're old, like 180 years old, and like which isn't that old really.
You know,
But the way they portray it in the show is that it's old.
there's a Netflix film that out right now. Well, it just came out here for me. It was Gods of Egypt.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Right, and literally it's a well done movie, but it's talking about Horus and Seth and Anubis and Apophis and put it in context of what was going on back then and the power struggles between them, and they were all like 14 foot tall, right, and all the other humans that were around them were all attending to them, and they were looked at as their gods. But part of the stories, lines, and things that they were saying back then, it was the previous ruler on the planet had kind of the best intentions for everybody, all the humans, right? And everyone was living in peace side by side, and everyone was allowed to enter the afterlife, right? Just for their good deeds in life. But when Hathor, was it Hathor? I think I forgot his name. But anyway, the one that began to being the enemy, or the bad guy in the film, he basically killed his father, took over, took the eyes out of his brother, right, so that he couldn't see, and then but he then said, now you got to pay your way in. You gotta have hard gold asset, right, in order to get into you have to have treasure, or you can't get into the afterlife, right? So anyway, it was just reminding me of these the same storylines that are going on, but they had this sarcophagus that the guy was healing himself in, and they put like the dead body of the one girl, right, because she had died while trying to escape with. So on, but anyway, but they put her in there so that she could be brought back to life, right? And she, at the very end of the film, she was brought back to life, but it was the same thing in the Stargate SG-1. They had the sarcophagus there, the med bed, right? You get in and it heals you.
Oh, you mean the Fifth Element? You know the Fifth Element?
No. This is this movie.
Oh.
It's in, it had this in Stargate SG-1 that the Goa'uld would heal themselves, and that's how they had their extended lives, right? Because they were inhabiting the human body, but they would then get in the sarcophagus and be able to live longer. It turns out that was technology from the ancients that they co-opted, right? So anyway,
regenerative technology, that's a big thing. It's all the cellular memory, bringing itself back. Like Fifth Element, right? They do the same thing. Fifth Element, they basically find like the hand of like the woman,
right,
like in the sarcophagus, and they exact same thing you just said.
They rebuilt
put
her.
It in the bed, and they regenerate her from scratch, like, and she's perfect.
So. Oh! I see. There might be a question in here. Wait a minute. Like a Q. I said some Q's going across. Oh no, that's from Robert Allen. I'm sorry, you threw me off putting a question in there, but then directed to Robert Allen. So anyway, is there any other? So
Robert Allen was on me. He said, "Man, you need to bring back that joy. Make sure you interact with people." So listen, Robert, I'm listening. But we just got a lot going on today that I can't talk about.
Okay, all good stuff. I hope
we have amazing things happening. Like amazing, that are all coming in. So
I'm just trying to look and see if there's any more questions. So
I told Robert Allen I think we should have him work as an admin on the shows, man, and literally gather the questions for us, so that when we say questions, he'll just post them all at once.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see them. Where are they, Robert?
No, I don't do any questions.
Dan is missing it. What do you want? Just be clear about it. What are you trying to say here? What am I missing? You know, put a Q and a question. I'll read it. Right. Okay. Well, there's it says it's not a question, so I don't know what you want. Yeah, you're repeating this. Okay, so just if you make it simple, if you put things in there that are, I'll read what it says. Dan/Q equals love/quantum heart equals all hearts source collectively connecting as one/Kim is the same as quantum heart collective consciousness/tank connecting dots now. No, I'm not.
I actually know what he's talking about.
Okay.
I honestly couldn't explain it. So, because he sent me something similar to that earlier today, and he was in the zone. I can tell. So we're gonna have to bring Robert on, and maybe tomorrow night.
Well, that was from Raw String.
From Raw String. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever that is. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I missed it. But I think Robert said something like that earlier today.
Well, okay. I can prove that it's not a question, even though a Q is in the front of it, because it ends with a period.
All right. Well, man, I got nothing left today. I gotta go get my.
Now they're calling me silly. Why are you calling me silly?
Guys, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's all right. All right. Well, it's fine. We can have a shorter show today. It's 41 minutes in. We're okay. 2,562 people watching. That's good.
Hey. Well, tomorrow night's show is definitely one everybody should tune in for because we're going to blow out a lot of better information tomorrow night. So I'm not excited about that. So.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
What?
I do want
Yeah, go ahead.
To the gentleman who sent me I don't want to say his name on air, but I'm going to text him back. But he sent me for my headache, they hooked it up with this cannabis infused medical use stuff. The guy was kind enough to send it to me, to help my headache and stuff. I'm gonna ask him if we can put it out, but it's amazing.
Yeah, I've used those kind of things before. Is it an oil or is it a cream?
It's it looks like a pomade to me. I rubbed it on my temples. It's really. You gotta put it between your hands. It does smell like to me. My kids think it smells like lemon. I feel like I've been in a Rasta bar as soon as I open it. It's so to me, it's so pungent, right?
Yeah.
But now I've gotten used to it. but I love it. It actually works great.
Well,
so,
yeah. The cannabasum is the translation is fragrant cane.
Fragrant cane.
Yeah. So it's very pungent.
It's skunk bud. So that's
that's another name for it.
It doesn't smell like that. It actually smells better. It just took me a minute to get used to. But it worked amazingly, and I wanted to thank him for that. And if it's okay with him, I'm gonna tell other people what it is so they can get some too, because it's really incredible. But I wanted to check first because it actually says RX on it. So I'm like, is this? Maybe he's not allowed to put it out. So maybe he wasn't supposed to get it.
It's I feel like I have to take a trip back to California, just so that I can get medicated. Meaning that I've been kind of without, I know that it helps me with my youthful complexion, right? It does.
Does it?
Yeah, definitely. No, it's. I was trying to think: is this really the tree of life or the tree of knowledge? I kind of I go back and forth because literally, I knew a lot of growers, right? That that ate it and used it, as part of their whole life, and they'd be 70 years old, but their skin looks like they're 50 or 40 even, right? So it's very much adds to that now, but it's a wonderful plant, it definitely is.
Well, I believe you on this, and I have researched it somewhat. I got jilted by this doctor who was juicing it, and he ran me out of business, 6 years ago or something. So I have Dr. William Courtney from California, right? But I have never forgotten that, so I've kind of gotten away from anything cannabis related. I was like, a little bitter about that.
Wait a minute, Tig.
But,
If you can't beat them, join them.
well, no, I will not join him, but I will rise up and work with people like this who have a better product.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Being run out of business is not fun. It's happened to me, right? So, I think I told you it's like the first time it happened, literally, they bought up the magazine that I was advertising, like 10 pages, every month, right, in this magazine, and I was growing really fast, and bought the magazine. 6 months later, shut it down.
I mean, they hate anything that is good for people. So we know that, that's why you got to stay low key. But we're not doing that anymore, right? I can't wait to just blow up and do amazing things for people. Like imagine the shift in the world. So, but anyways, I just want to thank him, and we'll talk about that more. But I'm gonna go check out my kids, tell everybody good night, and
all right, good night.
Thanks, man. Everybody have a good night.
Bye, everyone.